Ms. Heard maintained that it had always been Mr. Depp who had been the aggressor. She said that the only occasion when she had hit him back had been in the course of Incident 9, staircase incident, when, in defense of herself and her sister, Whitney, she had struck Mr. Depp. The claimant argued that this was inconsistent with admissions which Ms. Heard had made in various of her conversations with Mr. Depp in which she admitted being the, or a, violent party. Thus, in one recording, referred to as argument 2, Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard had the following exchange.
It's not true. It's not true. I'm not the one who fucking throws fucking pots and whatever the fucking else at me. Amber replied, that's different, that's different. One does not negate the other. That's irrelevant. It's a complete non sequitur. Just because I've thrown pots and pans does not mean you can come and knock on the door. Johnny says vases and fucking. Amber says, just because I throw vases does not mean you can come and knock on the door. I don't know why they wrote just because there are vases. She says in the audio, just because I throw vases.
Just because I've thrown pots and pans does not mean that you come and knock on the door. Just because there are vases.
The last video I made, I actually listened to this audio. This section that we're reading right now was a part of the audio that we listened to in my last video. If you want to go and listen to that yourself, it's also very easy to find. But the full audio recording is like 3 hours long, so if you want to find this exact section, we did listen to it in my last video. So, and that's why I know she says just because I throw vases, not just because there are vases.
It's not true. I'm not the one who fucking throws fucking pots and
those are different. That's different.
Fucking else at me.
That's different. That's one does not negate the other. That's irrelevant. It's a complete non sequitur. Just because I've thrown pots and pans does not mean that you come and knock on the door. Just because there are vases does not mean that you come and knock on the door.
Really, I should just let you throw.
I'm not saying that. You're saying that. You're putting words in my mouth and then making non sequiturs.
Johnny Depp says, relationship should let you throw. I think what he really says is, really? So I should just let you throw.
Really, I should just let you throw.
I'm not saying that.
Amber says, I'm not saying that. You're saying that. You're putting words in my mouth and then making non sequiturs. They skip over. Johnny says, you punched me. Amber replies, I'm sorry I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. I was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched. This was also a part that we listened to in my last video. Johnny says, don't tell me what it feels like to be punched. Amber, I know you've been in a lot of fights. You've been around a long time. I know, yeah. Johnny says, no, when you fucking have a closed fist. And she says, you didn't get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you. I don't know what the fuck motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you. They skip over some. You're a fucking baby. And Johnny says, because you start physical fights. And she says, you're such a baby, grow the fuck up. And he says, because you start physical fights. And Amber said, I did start a physical fight. This next section, I also posted this audio as well. Anyways, Amber says, I can't promise you that I'll be perfect. I can't promise you I won't get physical again. God, I fucking sometimes get so mad I lose it. I can promise you I'll do everything to change.
I can't promise you I won't get physical again. God, I fucking sometimes get so mad I lose it. I can fucking promise you I'm gonna do everything to change. Promise you I'm not gonna throw around divorce. I will not say divorce unless I really mean it.
On another occasion, there was this exchange. Johnny said, I don't want a divorce. I never wanted a fucking divorce. I didn't want you to fucking go to Coachella without fucking talking to me because I left you because you fucking haymakered me, man. You came around the bed to fucking start punching on me. Amber replied, I'm so sad. I love you so much.
A haymaker is a particularly violent punch. Mr. Sherburne submitted that there was no hint of denial in Ms. Heard's response. In her evidence, Ms. Heard said that she did sometimes throw pots and pans at Mr. Depp, but only to try and escape him and as a means of self-defense. She also said at times in argument too, she was being sarcastic. In my view, no great weight is to be put on these alleged admissions by Ms. Heard to aggressive violent behavior. It is trite to say, but nonetheless true, that these conversations are quite different to evidence in court. A witness giving evidence in court does so under an oath or affirmation to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Questioning can be controlled by the judge. Questions which are unclear can be rephrased. If a question is not answered, it can be pressed, subject to the court's control, and if still unanswered may be the proper object of comment. None of those features applied to these conversations, which, in any event, according to Ms. Heard had a purpose or purposes different from simply conveying truthful information.
So, all of those audio recordings, court evidence, the judge does not put weight into for his decision because they were recorded outside of court. They're not testimony. They weren't under oath, which to me is just mind-boggling, honestly. If anything, I think somebody would have more motive to lie under oath in court. He's basically saying any evidence that's not directly from court testimony under oath shouldn't really matter. We'll see as we continue through this that the judge does not always have this view. It's funny too because some of the sections of the audio that the judge left out in this document included audio of Johnny Depp saying,
And you're justifying that by saying I throw pots and pans? Okay, cool. Let's
No.
talk about everything you do wrong.
I'm not the one who fucking did that. I didn't.
So that makes sense. That's clear. Yeah.
The only time I ever threw anything at you was when you fucking threw the cans at me in Australia.
Why are you trying to justify who throws things?
in this audio, he says that was the only time he threw something back at her. We don't even know if it hit her. We don't even know what he threw. He said that in the same section of audio that was included in this document, but they left that out, and then they go on to say Amber Heard was doing these violent actions out of self-defense to get away from him. In the audio that is in this document, Amber says herself, yeah, I did start a physical fight, and she says, I can't promise you I won't get physical again, but none of that holds any weight in this judge's decision, which is crazy to me. So, anyways,